Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. It's Monday and it's happy everything. So we're continuing on. We still have this week and next week, and then the blocks will be done for the sampler from my holiday celebrations book. So this is the sampler that we've been working on. You've seen them showing, everybody showing blocks. The last block we did was the twister block, and a lot of you are posting your very cute twister blocks. And I hope you take that and make whole quilts from it, because I'm so excited if you do. So the block we're going to do is the Merry Little Houses. And here is mine for this week. Ta-da! And I want to walk through the fabric picking for this, plus the two setting blocks above. So I did a little thought process on those. Let's take a look. So here is the Merry Little Houses. All of the windows have different fabric in them, and this happens to be Christmas fabric, but you of course could do any kind of fabric, themed fabric for this guy, or just your fun prints that you have. So I'm going to scroll you in here. See them up close. So I just went through my Christmas fabric when I did this and was getting out all kinds of fun stuff that I have. There we go, down towards the bottom. You can see most of them. This one has like a little letter in it. So cute. Really, it was really fun to go through everything and find all those different fabrics. So when it comes to doing just one, it's like, what do you pick? What do you pick? So I brought some stuff out because I'm also going to show you the what I'm going to pick for here. So basically kind of this upper part. I've got all that, and I'm going to cut all of it and be able to sew it because, you know, got to move along. We're almost done. All right, first up, I have the yellow fabric, and then over on my chair I've got the gray bin. Now this one was given to me, and I thought, oh, this would be so cute for the window. But what I decided is that it's got the red, and I don't have any other really dark red that pops like that. And I'm thinking I'm going to do something else with this guy. So when hunting around, and what did I find? I found these owls. Oh my goodness. They are perfect, and they fit in the window perfect, just one owl. So totally going to do that. Totally going to do that. But what else? So here is some options. I was looking at using, let's see, I was looking at using this big floral for the roof because I want to bring more yellow down here. This is the background, the gray, and then the door. So then the owl is in the window like that. But I thought, well, I also have this yellow, which I used a little bit of it for the sun, and it looks like a roof. So I think I'm going to go with this yellow, and this will be the house. Then it comes to the part, these two blocks here. When I started out wanting to do, let me just move this guy up here. So I started out with those thinking I would do gray, and then put the center of it as yellow, so using this floral. But ultimately when I would put that up on the wall, it didn't do anything for me. So I decided to go the reverse, put the yellow and put the gray inside of it. The strip inside here, the block, that would be gray. So I will do, whoops, I'm sorry, no, I tried gray, but then I decided not to do gray. I decided to do the blue or the aqua. So I'm going to do this one with this lighter blue, and then the other one I'll do the yellow bees, and then put this print, which I used in a couple other places. So these will be these two blocks here. Now I kept this one, it was the audition, and it's a good color, so I kept it for this long strip. There's actually two little parts, so I'll find another one to put on the bottom. So that is where I'm going to go with all of those. But there's one other piece that I'm also looking at, which is right under the twist, which will be right above the house, is this wider piece. And I thought I could do the stripe because I've done the stripe in two other places horizontal, so I want to make it a third place, but I decided the stripe is going to go vertical down here instead of a third horizontal. So that left me going, well, I would like something with some interest, with a little bit of pattern, so that it's not, you know, so it doesn't really disappear. I would like a little pop. So I found this guy because I was actually looking at him for these blocks, except that cutting it up, it would just, it was going to lose too much of it. But as a long strip, it's perfect. So I've got the first cut done. Here it is. It's a 2.5 inch, 2.5 inch wide. So when I do the second cut, I will get a piece that looks like this, and that will be underneath the twist block and above the house. About cutting, I'm cutting those spacers, those spacer blocks, those sort of rectangles, and I'm looking at this fabric and thinking, okay, I have a lot of chopped up parts, and this is what I want to cut off. So I'm going to try to get as many pieces off of here, this extension. This I know is too skinny, but these I can use, and then I will go into the main part. So, and over here, there's sort of like this extra part that's sticking out. So I'll probably start cutting from this side, because that sort of evens it up, and then I don't have these sort of weird shapes. I've made use of them. Several people ask me about the overcuts. You know, when I'm cutting just what I need, sometimes you get a little pass, you get a little sliver like that. Well, right now is when I will just cut past that, and that little sliver will be trash. But it's a lot less than having whole strips that aren't used. So occasionally I have that, but you get really good at kind of stopping that rotary cutter and having very little of this. I've got both of them on design boards, so I'm all ready. I can take these over right to the sewing machine. I can stack them up if I need to, like this. I just love these boards. They are so useful. If you don't have any yet, you need to get some. Here they are again. I'm so excited because that means I can do the twister block, whoops, there it is, the twister block across with these, and then the house will be the bottom part. I did do the stripe that I need. I've cut this that I've shown, this spacer, so really there will only be the last block, and then I can go on to the border. So we're almost there. This is so fun. It's so fun to get down to the end. There are a couple things I didn't mention. The size for this, did I say this, is in the supply list where it tells you how many pieces you need for the different centers, since they're all different. And also look at the fussy cutting I did for this block. When you have a piece of fabric that has a scattered bouquet of flowers, take a look at it for fussy cutting. Now I was trimming, like I showed you, just sort of the extra stuff away, but that still enabled me to have the flowers more towards the center and then out where it's more blank. So I just love how that turned out. Very happy with those. So I have a mail call. This is from Jerry in Missouri, and she watches all the time on the videos. So she sent me a wonderful birthday card. So cute. And some goodies. A super cute tin. Look at that. I like that tin. That is adorable. An owl, some owl fabric. Aw, I put an owl in my block and I got owl fabric. And she sent me this darling shawl pin. Look how cute that is. It's an owl. So sweet. She said she saw it and she thought of me. Jerry, you are so kind. But I want to show you. I'm not going to put it on, but it's going to be perfect, I think, with this shawl that I'm doing. Remember, this is the, you know, it's my dipping back into crochet, because I haven't crocheted in a long time. This is what I'm doing. I don't have that much more yarn, so I think I'm going to just crochet out that ball, whatever that is. But this will, here, come down here. This actually will look beautiful. So you just sort of pull that up, and you'll pull the back and the front side, and it'll look so gorgeous on there. Look at that. Ah, thank you, Jerry. Mwah. Okay, now I really need to be motivated. I got to get that shawl done. Especially since sometimes I haven't worked on it for like weeks, and then I forget what the stitch is. It's like, oh. So I need to be committed to get that one done. It won't take that much longer. Now I have a few other fun things floating around. First of all, this coming Friday, which is January 14th, I have been invited to be on a online class that is held at Creative Spark, right? Yes, Creative Spark, and it's called the Quilting Hour. There are 6 different sessions. So if you get the whole thing, if you buy the whole class, you get to see all 6 sessions. I'm on one of them. 4 of them are already done. There'll be another one after mine. And I am the host of this is Lee Monroe, who is from May Chapel Designs. And Lee and I have known each other for a very long time. And she interviews, there'll be 2 of us. So the other lady that will be with me. So there'll be Lee and then 2 of us, so like a panel. And we'll be talking a lot about picking fabrics to go with patterns. Each of the sessions in this online class have different topics. So she talks to different designers, like she has Alex Anderson and Joanna Figueroa, that, you know, I use a lot of Joanna's fabric. Corey Yoder's on one of them, Carolyn Friedlander. So it is pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff that is fun and interesting. They're about an hour for each session. Just, you know, fun stuff. You can get that class and you can just listen and learn some interesting things from a whole group of different types of designers. So each one is geared then towards a topic. So that's a fun way she's doing this class. So I have all the links below and at my website. You can buy just my class, or you can just get the whole package and then you can go watch all of them, which, you know, I think that's worth it, because they're a lot of fun. I've watched all the ones already that have been done. Okay, when I've been going through the quilts, when I went through the basket, I was getting out all the tops. I found a top that I remember doing it now, but I had forgotten I'd done it. I mean, it's on my gallery and all that, but, you know, I do a lot of quilts. You know, when I'm doing like 70 quilts a year, 70 projects, you know, you don't always remember them all a couple years later. But this one is from a book called Winter Wonderland. And I want to show you the book because as of right now, it was on sale. And I thought you might want to pick it up. So this has got the most adorable Scotty dog. I'm just going to stand back here and hold it up. This is the quilt that's on the cover. Isn't that cute? Cute, cute, cute. Lots of cute blocks with a little framing. And then I want to show you a couple of the pages from the book, because the book has not only this, but then a lot of these blocks plus some other blocks are in full quilts, so full patterns. This one I thought was really neat with all of the pinwheels, like a double pinwheel. I thought that was pretty cool. Beautiful Fair Island quilt. Look at that. Like, I would love to make that with the red and the white, like a winter sweater. Gorgeous. Now the tree block that's on the quilt here, that was on the top, that tree block, then she has this really nice pattern using the block and repeat with an alternate block, which is really darling. That is, and that can be wintry, you know, you don't have to have that as Christmas. Then the Scotties in a tree skirt. So cute, so cute. So this book, I had totally forgotten about it. So I was so excited. I went to look and it's like, yeah, that's still in print and it's on sale. So there you go. And this is a top for my list of tops. So I did have it on my list of tops. Okay, the other thing I was asked on my Facebook group Sunday, I think, was should I do a stripe or a floral binding, the floral being the backing of the Liberty quilt, or should I do a stripe? And this is actually a stripe on diagonal, so it'll be on diagonal. And most of you like the stripe. So I think I'm going to do the stripe, and I'm going to stitch it down by hand. I haven't done hand binding in a little while, so I thought, well, that might be kind of cool. So I will do that. Unless I change my mind when I go to do it. And then I will do it by machine. Because machine is be way faster. And I already have like other hand projects. Speaking of hand projects, cross stitch. I have been working on the January little joyful journal. So there it is. I ran out of white. I used up all that white. I had no idea that that was all I had. So I ordered it. It should be here soon. So I have the white, and then I should be able to finish this guy up. The other thing is the flea market, the flea market flowers. Now put out there the other week on here on the video. See, that one has the thread kit with it. You know, should I do this on the gray sort of mottled background, or should I use the dots, which are so cute? So I've decided that I'm going to use the gray. I'm going to use the gray. So I need to get this one started. One of our friends suggested that, see, it has like little framing around that. So she suggested maybe I want to do a couple of the frames just to, you know, lay it out and then start stitching inside. So I thought, well, I should probably do that because I'm slow at cross stitch. I'm slow. Plus I don't do a lot of it every day. So it takes a while to get these done. And I don't want to be like lagging behind forever. And then I also found this, look, to keep the threads. Isn't that cute? It goes with it, or at least it's close enough. Look, yeah, cute. So I do need to go through the cross stitch and document, and I know a couple of them I'm not going to work on. Right now I've decided I'm only working on 14 count. Everything is on 14 count. And I have one that's at least one that's on 10 count that I know I'm just not going to go back and finish. It was the first one that sort of got me started, and I do want to do the design, but I'm not going to do it on 10 count. So I need to go through those bins. And that won't take long. I'll do that one day this week, and I'll film that so you can see what I'm going to do, what I'm going to keep. Oh, it's like, it gets crazy. It gets crazy, doesn't it? We have a lot of, so much fun. There's just so much fun to be had. It's hard to know what to work on. Okay, speaking of, not really, but I'll say it that way. So I had a question out there from Kelly. And I thought this is a great question for the advice column. Dear Pat, her question is, this is from Kelly, is there any way we can talk about unfinished quilt tops and how to get motivated to finish them? Okay, that's like a loaded question. So basically I asked her, what is holding you back? You know, basically you have to decide what is holding you back and then fix that. And then that way you can move forward. It's the same with anything in life. You know, if something is holding you back, you're not doing something, there's a reason why you're not doing it. So when you figure out the reason and decide whether it's something you can change or modify or get around or whatever. But in this case, for those of you who have quilt tops that you have not completed, what are the reasons that you don't complete a top? Okay, I know that for me, sometimes, you know, I've just lost interest. That's the number one thing. You know, by the time the top's done, that's really all I wanted to do. I don't really need to see it made into a quilt. That's a real thing. And I think there's a lot of you that are in that situation. The fun part is making the top. You don't always need to have a finished quilt to have gotten the satisfaction and the joy and the excitement and the creativity of making the quilt. The top is it. That's it. Other times it might be other priorities come in, but tell me why you think you never go back to them. You know, like you saw, I have 20 something tops. You know, why is it that I've never gone back? You know, like they store, like, one thing is when they're just a top, they don't take up much room in storage. So if you don't really need the full quilt yet, you can just have tops until you need the quilt, and then you quilt it when you need it, if you're using it for something specific. Deadlines force you to do things like a wedding gift or, you know, something you're giving immediately. But so there you go. I want to hear from you what it is that stops you from getting a top completed, particularly if it's been sitting there for a while. What's holding you back? Loaded question, like I said. All right, we're doing a little house for the happy everything. I love it in yellow and gray. I might need to do a whole quilt. I always say that, right? I need a whole quilt of these. Of course, I've already done a whole quilt of these in the reds, which I love. Okay, I love you. Mwah. See you online.